it's really important round. You know, suicide is the biggest killer in men under 50, and it's because men, for whatever reason, don't or can't speak to people about the mental health issues, and I'm hopeful that if they can see people they look up to, whether it be because they're a professional athlete, because they're a rugby player, because they're a fan, because you know, we do a physically demanding, tough job. If they can see us talking about, you know, our anxieties, us having depression, the things that we're scared of, and the things that bother us, then hopefully that can give them the confidence and the courage to speak to people about their issues and hopefully prevent unnecessary suicide.
Obviously, it's from the outside, it's the macho world, the world of rugby league. You're all tough men going out there on the pitch. Is it about breaking down that stigma then, that because you can do it, anyone can do it in a sense?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, mental health isn't selective of who it affects. Whether you weigh 17 stone or 7, it doesn't care. And we all have anxieties, we all have worries. Man, woman, you know, professional athlete or postman, it doesn't matter who you are, what you do. It really doesn't care, and we all have to band together and talk about it. And it's, you know, some conversations are difficult. Talking about suicide is difficult. It's not a nice subject to talk about. But we have to be able to have these uncomfortable conversations so that we don't need to talk about it in the future. I think that's, you know, I've spoken about how I made my debut in 2008, and people certainly weren't talking about mental health then. So it's really good that we were able to have such a big discussion about it now, and hopefully, like I said, we won't have to keep doing it, but we will until we don't need to anymore.
So many stories as well in this campaign. What's your story? What's the message you're trying to get across to people?
I think the message, the thread that runs through all our stories is you have to accept whatever it is that you're struggling with, whether it's what you look like, your sexuality, whether it's that you're having suicidal thoughts, whatever it is, you have to accept it, you have to speak to someone about it, and then you have to go through the necessary steps to deal with it. And that seems to be the thread that runs through each and every story. So, and just the circumstances are different. So mine was to do with being gay. You know, Brad's spoken about his birthmark, and all I'm talking about depression, and all the main crux of the stories are very similar, and it's just the details that are different. So hopefully people will be able to see that, apply their own circumstances, and the treatment is the same. You know, you speak to someone and you take the advice of professionals if necessary, and you deal with it, and my life is infinitely better for doing so.
Do you feel now that we talk more about Keegan Hirst, rugby league player, rather than Keegan Hirst, gay rugby league player?
I think so, but do you know what? I am proud to be Keegan Hirst, gay rugby player. I am a rugby player and I am gay, and it's important for me that people often ask me, why do people need to know about your sexuality? And people don't need to know about my sexuality. They don't need to know who I sleep with or what I do in my private life. But it's important that kids growing up know that you can be gay and be a rugby player if you want to be. Or you can have a birthmark and be a professional rugby league player, or mental health issues or whatever. It's really important that people don't ostracise themselves because of how they feel about themselves, because that's not the case. And our game is, you know, diverse and inclusive, and the people in this room exemplify that.
You've obviously been a trailblazer along with Ian Roberts and Gareth Thomas. Is the message for you, you know, if there are any other gay players out there, it's not as hard as it seems coming out? Obviously, it is difficult. But
yeah, it's a difficult one. It's such an individual thing, and you have to accept who you are, be okay with it, and then want to share that with the world. There might be rugby league players who are gay who don't want to, you know, they might see me popping on TV about it all the time and think I don't want to have to do that, which is understandable. That's just, you know, it's important to me that people can see that you can be that person if you want to be. But you don't have to, they wouldn't have to do what I do, they'd have their own story. So it's difficult. I'd like to stand here and say if you're gay, come out and everything will be fine, but someone has to be. They have to get there on their own. But as we've seen over the last 4 years, this game that we love is really accepting and inclusive.
We've obviously had, as you say, rugby league's inclusive, but there's been an issue in Australia with Folau and his comments. I guess it's disappointing to hear those, and anyone who thinks straight thinks it's a disappointment as well. But it must be heartening that there are many people coming out and saying, no, this is unacceptable in this day and age.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the Australian Rugby Union have done the right thing. Absolutely, he was warned, and when you're in a position of influence, you are a role model, whether you want to be or not, and he's not oblivious to that. And I think Thumper in Bambi said it best: if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. So he didn't need to go on, and it's a difficult one when you talk about religion because of how important religion is to people. But it doesn't give you a right to, put down a whole section of society. So I think what's happened with Israel Folau and what the stance Australian Rugby Union's taking is the right thing, and I think him trying to get a GoFundMe page to pay for his legal fees when he makes millions of dollars is just indicative of the bloke. So the proof is always in the pudding.
Yeah, it's not religion that's the issue; it's the person rather.
Absolutely, yeah. And there's lots of religious people who are religious who've come out and said that that's not their views. That's just his views. And if he's hiding behind religion to be homophobic, then that's his choice. There is freedom of speech and all that. But have some balls and just be homophobic. Don't hide behind your religion, because that's not fair on others. So, but he's been found out, and people aren't stupid and they can see something for what it really is.
Through your experience, is that something that's happening less and less these days to you personally?
I am very lucky. I've experienced very, very little homophobic language, behaviour, carrying on. There's a lot of people who are 6'4", rugby player, who are perhaps a bit more effeminate, who maybe stand out a little bit more, who have not been as lucky as I am, and they're the brave ones. They're the real heroes who walk around with their sexuality as a real badge of pride. And I'd like to say it's something that's happening less, but I don't. It's well documented about those girls who were attacked on a train. We've got people protesting outside schools about whether people should be taught that LGBT people exist. So I'm glad my kids know that I exist. So it's 50 years since the LGBT movement started, and it's really sad that we're still having to talk about these issues that are happening in Israel Folau and people being attacked on trains and schools and things like that. It's I'd like to say things are getting better, but the news suggests that it's an ongoing struggle.
Final one from me, and the press almost seem to be desperate at times for a professional footballer to come out. I have no idea why, because as you say, why it's of anyone's interest, I'm not sure. But do you see that as being a big watershed mark, or just why are they so obsessed with it?
I think because it is the world's favourite sport. It's such a different beast to rugby league because of the fan base. There's a lot of clubs have big fan bases in Africa and Middle East where it's illegal to be gay. So as sad as it sounds, it's perhaps a money issue. People don't want people to stop buying shirts. And there's a lot of young men go watch. I've been to football grounds. They're not as nice an environment as a rugby league ground. So maybe people just think I don't need the aggro, and that's their prerogative. Like I've said, it is important because it's important for a kid to grow up and see that you can be gay and be a footballer, because I'm positive that you can. And hopefully at some point that will be the case. But I think it is the last bastion, and I think maybe after that you'll get a lot of players coming out. Particularly in football, because there's so many. There's about 4,000 professional footballers in the UK. So law of averages says there's got to be a couple. But we'll see what happens.
Just want to ask about Friday's game. I mean, obviously a tough result against Catalans. How important is getting back on the horse and obviously a local derby?
Yeah, obviously we put in a poor performance against Catalan. And Castle didn't play the best against Leeds, so both teams will be looking for a response. And it being in a local derby, we've not done particularly well against Castle in the last few years, and we've struggled with form at solid day. So I think, you know, people say that form book goes out window, so I think we both hope that it does, because neither of us have been playing particularly well. But yeah, it's a massive game that both teams need to win, so it should be an exciting derby.
The table's obviously very tight. Has anyone at Bellevue been talking about relegation or anything like that?
I think it got mentioned after we lost to Salford the other week, but then we beat Huddersfield and we were looking up, but then you suffer a loss and you start looking over your shoulder. So I think I think there's 4 points off the bottom, and we're 4 points off fourth spot. So it's
crazy.
It is wide open. So we've just got to keep looking up and try and get. If we can string a few results together, I don't doubt we can get in that top 5.
Has it been a frustrating season? Because obviously Wakey's been in the top 5, top 6 for the last couple of years, and you've played some fantastic rugby. Has it been a tough season, that inconsistency and all those injuries?
Yeah, I think because we started so well, and then we were hit with all those injuries at the same time, it really took the wind out of our sails, and we're just trying to get back that consistency. Because if you're losing games but you're playing well, you know, you can kind of take that on the chin, but we have been so hit and miss that it's been really difficult, and yeah, we'll do our very best to put that right this round.